Before the European Jews experienced the persecution, the tribulation of the Holocaust, hundreds of years before, that same persecution, that same anti-Semitic persecution happened with African Jews that were sold into slavery. African Jews experienced similar persecutions, similar Jew hatred with the enslavement through the Middle Ages of the slave trade. That was by and large, that was a Christian Jewish persecution of Africans in the land of Africa by Muslim slave traders who brought slavery to Africa and began to kill and enslave and imprison any religion that was not Muslim. And so Christianity began on the continent of Africa before it ever reached Europe. And Christians on the continent of Africa were enslaved through the Muslim slave traders, the Muslims that overran Africa after the 7th century. Jews, same thing. They were enslaved by the Muslim slave traders and the Muslim, kings that attempted to, by force, establish Islam as the religion of Africa. So Jews, Christians were persecuted on the continent of Africa and sold into slavery by their own people that had established Islam as the religion of the land. And so each people, each group of Jews from each ethnicity, from each nationality throughout the nations of the earth have been persecuted. Not just the European Jews. These persecutions, these pogroms, these Jew-hated, anti-Semitic attempt to annihilate the Jews have happened in every ethnicity. It's just after the European Holocaust and the European anti-Semitic expression of persecution, that's when the birthing of the nation of Israel began, and that came out of the United Nations recognizing Israel. The Jews needed a land, and they divided the partition of Palestine between Jews that lived in Palestine and Arabs that lived in Palestine, and gave half, not even half, a slither to the Jews and more to the Arabs. The Jews accepted their half, their slither, their part. The Arabs said, no, we're not only not accepting our part that you're given, we're going to not allow the Jews to even receive their part. And they all attacked the Jews in the process of them attempting to establish a state.